Congratulations! You have taken the first step in becoming a licensed motor vehicle dealer. Having a dealer's license is absolutely the greatest business on the face of the earth, but it also brings a great amount of ethical responsibility. You can buy a vehicle from one individual, mark up the price by thousands of dollars, then sell it for a huge profit. The typical markup on a used vehicle is anywhere from $1,500 to over $3,000 or much more. On RVs and commercial trucks, profits range from $6,000 to as high as $12,000 per vehicle. The Automobile Dealer Training Association's research has shown that the average dealer in the United States nets about $319,000 per year. I look forward to showing you how to operate your new business with complete integrity and the highest profits that you possibly can. Hello, my name's Dallas Johnson, and I've operated a profitable dealership for several years. I'm also the lead instructor for the Automobile Dealer Training Association. The Automobile Dealer Training Association was founded to help you obtain a dealer's license, apply proven profit strategies, operate with the highest ethical standards, and allow you to realize how important it is to keep your customers happy. I also want to make sure your new business venture is compliant with the many important state and federal laws that will affect you as a dealer. The Automobile Dealer Training Association's training course is designed to help you stay compliant while earning an unlimited income. When you obtain your license, your state is granting you permission to go out and make as much money as you possibly can. They are literally handing you a license that can help you achieve unlimited profits. When you follow all the steps needed to obtain your dealer's license, you will gain access to every dealer auction in the United States. When you get into dealer auctions and realize how cheap the vehicles sell for in the dealer auction lanes compared to how high they sell for on your lot, you're going to quickly realize this is a very high markup industry. But you have to get a dealer's license to get into the dealer auctions. No dealer auction in the country will allow you in without a dealer's license. The one catch to obtaining and keeping this license is following your state dealer license division guidelines at all times. State dealer license division guidelines are different from state to state, but they have one thing in common. They've been dealing with unscrupulous dealers for years and years. So what happens to an unscrupulous dealer? They lose their dealer's license. So it is really worth taking the steps to maintain compliance, because if you do not take the steps to maintain compliance, I guarantee you will lose your dealer's license. And I know for a fact, if a person has a dealer license suspended or revoked, the state you are licensed in will normally make it extremely difficult to regain your license. And if you do violate your state's dealer license laws and are unfortunate enough not to lose your license, I assure you, your state will probably fine you for non-compliance. If you maintain 100% compliance, this means you follow all laws, rules, guidelines, you will maintain 100% profits. If you take the additional steps to maintain 100% compliance, you will never receive fines and you will never lose your dealer's license. You can't make money if you no longer have a dealer's license, obviously. So 100% compliance equals 100% profits. Through the course of this training, you're going to learn about integrity, dealing honestly with your customers, and operating your dealership with the highest ethical standards. You can literally make tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars over the course of your dealer's license lifetime, or you can even earn several millions in 1 month. I know several dealers throughout the country who consistently net 7 figures a month with the exact same license that you are obtaining. Welcome to the world's greatest business. The Automobile Dealer Training course consists of several units, and throughout the training, I'm going to show you how to obtain your dealer's license. I'm going to talk about the importance of ethics and integrity. We're going to talk about how to avoid ever having your dealer license suspended. Remember, you can't make money if you no longer have that dealer's license. Compliance is the name of the game in this industry. I will show you how to identify vehicles with damage history. It is imperative that you have knowledge to identify vehicles with damage history, because thousands of vehicles with damage history roll through those dealer auction lanes every single day, and you want to make sure you never give full wholesale price on a vehicle with damage history. You're going to need to bid accordingly. So I'm going to show you how to advertise correctly as well. When you get your dealer's license, some advertising laws will change, and advertising, by the way, can drive incredible amounts of traffic to your dealership. I'm going to show you how to maintain your required records. All dealers are going to need to make a copy machine so you can make copies of everything that comes across your desk. It's very important to maintain your records compliance. I will show you how to identify illegal titles. Sometimes we call them open, blank, or skip titles. Possession of one of these titles can lead a dealer to being charged with a felony. So I'm going to show you how to stay completely away from these illegal titles. We have a whole section on dealer bonds and how you can obtain the cheapest dealer bond. You're going to learn about dealer insurance and where to find the cheapest rates on your dealer insurance and how to keep your dealer insurance rates down. Once I show you how to maintain compliance with your dealer's license, we're going to delve into the nuts and bolts of the course. Sales and profit strategies. I'm going to share helpful profit tips and proven methods that I have used in my dealership to increase sales and profits, including buying and selling a vehicle to an individual, buying and selling a vehicle to another dealer, how to obtain a floor plan, which is a loan for your inventory. I'm going to show you how to buy vehicles with lost titles. We're going to jump into buy here, pay here, financing, third-party financing. I'm going to explain liens. And we're going to go over some strategies that can dramatically increase the profits on vehicles that include dealer warranties, upholstery protection, delivery charges, vehicle preparation fees, document preparation fees, loan points. And we'll talk about off-site shows and sales, vehicle consignments, purchasing vehicles with trade-in credits, donating motor vehicles for huge tax write-offs. You might think it sounds crazy to donate motor vehicles because you want to make as much profit as you can on every vehicle, but I predict your profits are going to be very high and you will always be looking for tax deductions. And if you follow the step-by-step plans that I'm also going to show you in this course, I'm going to show you how to make $319,000 per year. You could make more than that, but I'm going to show you a step-by-step process to achieve this financial goal. Even though the majority of laws that we cover are going to be state laws that originate at your state capital, we will also cover several federal laws in your training course that come out of Washington, including how to comply with the Federal Trade Commission Buyer's Guide law. We'll talk about federal finance laws, federal privacy laws. I will show you how to report large cash transactions to the IRS. I hope this is a common problem for you when your customers purchase vehicles with large amounts of cash. I will show you how to comply. And we're going to talk about forms that you can use in your dealership, how to legally use your dealer license plates. I'm going to show you how to get your employment number and much, much more, including I'm also going to show you how to run an online dealership. And we're going to have brand new content added to the dealer training course on a regular basis. So take some time to read our dealer training course reviews at our website. That's www.dealertraining.org. Once again, that is dealertraining.org if you're possibly watching this from YouTube or if you're on the dealertraining.org website. On any page, you could just click on the reviews link at the top of the page to read what other entrepreneurs like you are saying about your dealer training course. First, I want to cover the steps that you need to complete before you apply for your dealer's license in most states. And at the end of this unit, I'm going to show you how to contact your state's dealer licensing office to answer additional specific questions. You know, this section is going to contain helpful startup information that's going to walk you through the necessary steps that are required to gain an automobile dealer license in most states. And I'm also going to show you how to contact your state's licensing bureaus as well. So normally, to get a dealer's license in most states, we're going to have to submit a dealer application, pass or submit a criminal background check or fingerprints. We will have to have a building and a display lot. We're going to have a phone. Most states require phones. I'll talk about that in a moment. Business signs. You will have to have insurance on your inventory, which we call dealer insurance. And you're going to have a dealer surety bond more than likely as well. Every state in our country requires a dealer to have an employment identification number. There are a couple of business entities that don't require that, but we'll cover how to get an employment identification number in your training course. We'll talk about many of your state's required dealer educational course. Okay, so there may be additional training that you're required to take after this course, but I always say take this course first, see if this is something that you want to do before you invest the time and money in your state's dealer training course. I'm going to talk about hours of operation and how to submit your required documents. So what we need to do first, we need to either download or submit our online dealer application, because the first step to becoming a licensed motor vehicle dealer is either to download an application from your state's motor vehicle dealer licensing agency. But you know, some states such as Texas and Alabama and many other states now actually require you to apply through an online application system, okay? And they no longer accept mailed-in applications. So you can find a direct link to your state's dealer application process by clicking that link below. If you're watching this video on YouTube, it's dealertraining.org/dealer/license-application.html. Or you can scroll down on any page of the dealertraining.org website, and you can just, at the bottom of the page, click on State Dealer Applications. Then on the state that you want to obtain your license in, just find a quick link to their paper application or their online system by clicking on your state. You can also contact your dealer license division, usually located in your state's capital. Most states allow you to download this form, but like I said, many states are now requiring you to apply through like an e-licensing automated online system. I want to let you know that you can easily find specific information about your state's dealer license requirements along with your dealer license office's contact information by going to dealertraining.org. Once again, that website is dealertraining.org, and you're going to click on the Get License link at the top of every single page. Then you'll see a direct link to your state's dealer licensing requirements and contact information. Just click the link in your state and be advised that we're constantly updating the contact information because sometimes that contact information, such as phone numbers and email addresses for your state, may change. If for some reason you find dated contact information, I'd really appreciate it if you would let us know, and we will try to update that contact information immediately. Another step that most states are going to require is some type of background criminal investigation, okay? And many states require you to submit either a background check or maybe your fingerprints. Your state wants to make sure they're not licensing any, recent felon. If you have a felony conviction, this does not necessarily eliminate you from the dealer licensing process. Your state is basically looking for prior records of armed criminal action, assaults, drug convictions, sex crimes, automotive crimes. That's kind of what they're normally going to be looking for. So many states do allow felons to get licensed. There are some states that require you to have at least 10 years without a felony. And some states basically look the other way for all previous criminal activity. They also want to make sure, that they're never giving a dealer's license to maybe somebody that was, managing some auto theft ring. They don't want to give a dealer's license to somebody that stole a car, did odometer tampering, okay? Also, you've been convicted of, non-felony, such as maybe, driving while under the influence or something like that. There are some of those cases that can actually keep you from getting a license. Each state does have different background investigation criteria, and some states, like I said, don't require any type of background information at all. I want you to be really aware that on the next 3 screenshots, we have direct phone numbers for every dealer licensing agency in the state. So you can call them directly if you do have specific questions, possibly about your criminal history. Here on the first page, you see Alabama through Maine's contact information phone numbers. On the next page, you see Maryland through South Dakota. And on the final page, you'll see Tennessee through Wyoming. And you'll have all this contact information plus much, much more in the dealer training manual that you can download when you take your dealer training course. We're going to have to probably register this business with the Secretary of State. Almost every state in the country requires you to register your dealership name with your Secretary of State's office, and this can usually be done over the phone or online. And you might be charged anywhere from like $7 for a fictitious name or $200 or more for like an LLC or corporation. To register online, you can just go to Google, type in your state name followed by the Secretary of State, and you should see information on registering your business because, most states do have a real friendly Secretary of State registration website now. So, if you incorporate your dealership, then the state will most likely already have your fictitious name registered. But sometimes sole proprietors and general partnerships may be excluded. So you definitely want to check with your state dealer license division to make sure that your dealership has been registered correctly. We have a very extensive section later on in your dealer training course that will cover Secretary of State filings in depth. We're going to talk about the differences between sole proprietors, LLCs, corporations, general partnerships, limited liability partnerships. So we will cover different types of Secretary of State filings later on in your course. Business billing. In order to obtain your dealer's license, you will be required to own or lease a place of business. Every state has very different requirements that you must follow for your place of business. Some states will actually allow you to operate your dealership out of your home. There's not many, but there are a few states that do allow this. These states that do allow you to operate a dealership at your home will require that you comply with local zoning ordinances. So, if you do live in a state that allows you to operate out of your home, your overhead costs can be basically zero. But I want you to be aware more and more states are prohibiting a residence from being used as a dealership. If your state does allow residential licensing, you might want to get your dealer's license as soon as possible, because if your state ever changes that law in the future, your business would be grandfathered in to allow you to continue to use your residence. But just make sure and follow all state guidelines, okay? And that way you will always remain grandfathered in. But with that being said, I want you to be aware, most states, however, do not allow a dealership to be located at the same address as a residence. And some states actually have a minimum number of square feet for showroom, offices. A couple of states, not many, but a couple require restrooms, and a couple even require vehicle maintenance areas. Not many. Most states are just going to allow you to basically have a business building with maybe a small office or an area that you'll be doing paperwork in. A couple of states even require you to have some type of service facility agreement with another garage if you don't have a garage. So that's not the norm. Only a couple states have that repair facility requirement, but almost all states have a requirement that you have a phone. And we'll talk about that here in just a little bit. After you've located a place of business that meets all the requirements, you want to make sure that you meet local zoning. Okay, now how do you do that? When you found say for example, when you have found a building that you might want to open your dealership in, well, then you can call maybe your city hall or your county and ask for planning and zoning, give them the address, and see if you can operate a dealership at that location. And then they'll tell you, yes, it's zoned for a dealership, or no, it's not. It's very important that you do this before you actually purchase or lease a building, because I have talked to numerous dealers that have actually purchased real estate to have a dealership at, only to find out that the city prohibited dealerships from operating at that location. So keep this in mind, and always make sure that you have to meet local zoning for your building. You're also going to be required to have a display lot. Every state dealer license division will require that you have a display lot. Your display lot will normally be required to be viewable from the nearest roadway. The minimum requirement for your lot, may be as small as one space for the type of vehicle that you're selling. Many states require that you have room for like 10 vehicles or more. And some states will require you have a minimum square footage of showroom space inside. Not many, but there are a couple. Some states require the dealer's display lot to be on the outside of the building, but a few states allow the display area to be either outside or inside, or a combination of both. Most states will require your licensed dealer sales activity to take place on the licensed lot. So, while it would be very tempting to place a for sale sign on your vehicle and park it, out in front of Walmart or something like that, this is never allowed in any state. That's called curbing your vehicle for sale at a non-licensed location. So just about every state prohibits dealers from curbing vehicles for sale at non-licensed locations. So keep that in mind. If you ever attempt to curb your vehicle at another location, you may quickly learn that other dealers may be your worst enemy. If another dealer observes you curbing your vehicles for sale at a non-licensed location, I guarantee you they're going to be the very first person that contacts your your state's dealer license agency to let them know of your dealer license violation. So, unless you're selling vehicles, say for example, at a wholesale dealer auction, your sales activity will need to take place at your licensed location. So make sure that you maintain your display lot. Display lots do have to be the same address as the building in almost every single state. Phone requirements. Many states will require that you have a working telephone in your business that is registered in your business name. Your state dealer license division wants to make sure your customers can contact you if necessary regarding a vehicle they have purchased, or if they want to inquire about a vehicle they are interested in. Most states require your officially registered telephone to be a hardwired phone that is not a cell phone or cordless phone that's based in another building. However, more and more states are allowing your official phone to be a cell phone instead. Your dealer license agency wants to make sure that you are a real business and not some fly-by-night company that purchases a pay-as-you-go cell phone to meet your phone requirement. Most states require your phone also to be answered in the dealership name. When I had my dealership inspected for the very first time by my state dealer licensing agency, the officer asked where my phone was, and I pointed to it and showed it to him on my desk, and he went right over there and picked it up, and listened to it. And he wanted to make sure I didn't just, purchase some $8 phone from Walmart and throw it on the desk without having phone service. So almost every single state does require you to have some type of phone requirement. So check with your state dealer license division to find out more about your state's phone requirements. Business sign. Just about every state in the country will require you mount a permanent sign on your business building or maybe on your display lot. And you're going to need to display your dealership name and possibly even your hours of operation. Some states actually require the word autos, motors, or cars as part of the business sign. And some states actually require you have your business entity on that sign as well, such as, LLC or Inc. Most states require this information to be posted on a permanent sign and not on the window or the door. Your state, they may require you to post your business hours as well. And your sign needs to normally be large enough to read from the nearest roadway. So be sure to check your dealer licensing division so you can meet your minimum business sign requirements. One thing that's never allowed in any state is just a banner or maybe even a banner that's stapled to like a piece of plywood or something like that. That's not usually determined as a permanent business sign. So any, printing company or a sign shop should be able to get you a sign produced for a very, very minimal cost. Business photographs. Quite a few states require you send photographs of your business. And this photograph will most likely include your business building, your lot, and maybe your sign. If your state requires this photo and you're mailing it in, make sure and don't forget to put it in that application envelope that you're actually mailing. If you're submitting your application through maybe a state's online licensing system, you probably won't be able to submit your online application until you have uploaded that photograph. So basically your state is going to want to normally know what you look like. So if you do have a photograph requirement, make sure and don't forget that photograph in either your dealer application packet or upload it when you apply for your license. Dealer insurance on your vehicle inventory. Every state in the United States requires every vehicle being driven on any roadway to have insurance. I want to repeat that very, very important statement. Every state in the United States requires every vehicle being driven on any roadway to have insurance, including the vehicles your customers are test driving and all service vehicles that might be owned by the dealership. Some states require proof of insurance before you obtain your dealer's license, and all states require you have proof of insurance on your inventory. So it is imperative that you have coverage for any vehicles before purchasing any inventory. Before you purchase any inventory, you're going to have to obtain what's called a dealer insurance policy. And dealer insurance is a special type of insurance that covers you. It's going to be really unique in nature because it's going to cover you when your customers are test driving your vehicles. It covers you maybe if an employee is driving the vehicle back and forth from a dealer auction. And it's normally going to cover you if somebody's injured on your lot as well. But it is quite technical in nature, and you're going to have to educate yourself on the most cost-effective policy for your dealership. We have a very extensive section on dealer insurance later on in your dealer training course that will show you where to purchase dealer insurance, how to get the best price for dealer insurance, and also how to keep your rates down. So as a side note, make sure that you require your customers to show their proof of insurance when test driving your vehicles. When a customer comes to your lot and asks for a test drive, asks to see their current insurance ID card, most people will gladly produce this ID card. And by requiring your customer to provide proof of insurance, your insurance company will be able to obtain a collection from the customer's insurance company in the event that the customer damages the vehicle of yours during the test drive. So asking for the customer to show their insurance card can definitely keep your insurance rates down. So always remember, if a person drives up on your lot and can't provide proof of insurance, there's a reason they're driving without insurance and they're already breaking your state law, and you should never allow that person to drive any of your demos. So how to find the cheapest dealer insurance is covered extensively in your dealer training course, and we're going to give you some great tips on how to keep your dealer insurance costs down as well. Dealer surety bond. Almost every state requires you obtain a dealer surety bond before you can obtain a dealer's license in your state. Dealer surety bond will basically protect customers from fraudulent dealers, and the pricing is dependent upon your credit score. Some states will allow an irrevocable letter of credit instead. We're going to cover dealer surety bonds extensively in your dealer training course. And if you invest in the entire course, we'll also show you how much they cost, where you can obtain them, and how to renew them every year to make sure that you're always maintaining compliance. Employment identification number. Almost every state in the country requires a dealer to obtain an employment identification number. Sometimes we call this a federal tax ID number, or more simply, an EIN. I'm going to make a very confident prediction here. If you complete all the steps in this training course, you will obtain your dealer's license, and I predict your income will go up. In fact, if you're willing to work very hard, your income will go up dramatically. And by the way, this dramatic increase in your income, well, Uncle Sam's going to want a little piece of that action. An employment identification number is the number that is assigned to your new business by the federal government. And you're going to use this number on your tax returns. And almost all states require you to obtain an employment identification number before you're granted a dealer's license. In your dealer training course, I'm going to take you step by step through the process of obtaining your employment identification number. It's free to obtain your employment identification number, by the way, and I know lots of companies that will charge you to file your application. So don't do that. Don't pay for that. I'm going to show you how to obtain this employment identification number at no additional charge in your dealer training course. Dealer training course. Many states now require you attend a dealer education class before you can obtain your dealer's license. It's kind of like if you want to get a real estate license, you can make a lot of money. So states require you take training before you can get a real estate license. If you want to get an insurance license, that can be very profitable. So states require you take training for that license as well. I'm here to tell you, if you get a dealer's license, it can be very lucrative. So most states now require that you take training before you can actually get your license. And by the way, I've had a real estate license, I've had an insurance license, and I've had a dealer's license, and I made a lot more money with my dealer's license than any other license that I've had. If your state has a dealer educational requirement, you should be able to find a class location near you. And, many states are allowing you to take your training course online. However, there are several states that actually require you to sit in a classroom environment with an instructor. Some states require 4 hours of pre-license training. Many states require 6 to 8 hours of pre-license training. And there are a couple of states that require multiple days of dealer license training. So I always suggest that you take the training course that we have right here in its entirety before you sign up for your state's dealer training class, in-class training. And, in the rare scenario that you may decide not to get your dealer's license after taking this course, you're going to save a substantial amount of time and money if you decide not to sit through your state's required dealer training. However, I do believe you will pursue your license after this dealer training course. Just contact your dealer license division for a list of approved dealer educational providers. And many states only have one approved provider. They're usually that state's association. Or you can Google your state dealer training course. Some states also require you take a dealer continuing education course every 2 or 3 years after your license. And there are even a couple of states that require you train every year in order to renew your dealer's license. So most states do allow your continuing education classes online, but there are a handful of states that do require you to sit in a course with an instructor. Okay, these pre-license courses, they can cost anywhere from $900 to $600 or more, and continuing education classes can run anywhere. I meant to say they can cost anywhere from $90 to over $600 or more, and continuing education classes run from $80 to $150 or more, depending on the state. Most of these courses are actually taught by currently licensed dealers or formerly licensed dealers. I've given these training classes all over the United States here in the last several years. And in fact, I've trained over 10,000 persons in a classroom training environment. And I found most of the persons in these classes, even someone that's operated a dealership for several years, are usually unaware of most of state and federal guidelines. So you are going to find more than likely that course will be very educational, and we're going to cover a lot of that information here in your dealer training class. So some of the courses may seem a bit pricey, much more expensive than this dealer training course that you're getting ready to invest in, but keep that in mind. I always recommend taking this dealer training course provided by the Automobile Dealer Training Association. Decide if you want to go for it, and then you will decide whether or not you want to make that substantial investment in time and the hours that you might have to sit in another course. Maintain business hours. Most dealer license divisions will require that you maintain regular business hours. Your dealership will be required normally to be open during normal hours, and almost all states will require that you post your hours on the front of the building. Many states require that you're closed on Sundays. So if your state prohibits operations, you can still do paperwork and things like that on a Sunday, but you never ever want to talk to somebody on your lot on a Sunday, because I want to let you know, if your state prohibits Sunday sales activity by licensed motor vehicle dealers, and there are still several that do this, and a law enforcement officer sees you speaking to a customer on a Sunday, well, you can actually lose your dealer's license for that. So keep that in mind. If you're running the business from your home or commercial location, somebody's going to need to be available during the hours that you have posted. So, with that being said, if you have posted your hours on the front of the building, normally you have to be staffed during those hours. It doesn't always have to be you, the owner. It might be, a salesperson or, a brother-in-law. As long as you have a warm body in that dealership during your posted hours, you will be able to maintain your state's hours compliance. Submitting your required documents. After you completed every step that we just spoke of, you can either mail in your application or submit your application online. And this dealer application documents will normally include your official license application, your dealer bond, maybe a copy of your insurance policy, copies of any tax ID numbers. I'll show you how to get those here in a second. If you're required by your state to have an educational course, then you'll have to have your certificate of completion for that, and possibly any Secretary of State registration filing. So, many people want to get their license as soon as possible. So you might actually be able to hand deliver an application packet to your dealer's license division by driving to your state capital. And many times, if you deliver all the necessary paperwork, then you might be able to come out with your dealer license on the same day. So contact your dealer license division to find out if same-day licensing is allowed in your state. But I always recommend make sure you contact your state's licensing agency before submitting your application to make sure that you're submitting the correct documents. And if you're mailing that application, you'll have to write a check or money order for your dealer license fees. Sometimes the Dealer License Regulatory Bureau will prorate these fees, so they might change depending on the month. And, if for some reason, you submit a check or money order for the incorrect amount, they are not going to be able to take your check because it'll throw the state's books off, okay? So make sure you're submitting the correct payment there. And, if you're doing it online, most state regulatory bureaus that require you to license online will have an automatic payment system where you'll be led to your state's secure payment portal, and you can pay the prorated fees on the spot. But you can always find out your state motor vehicle license bureau. You can go to dealertraining.org/DMV, and there's several ways you can easily contact your dealer license offices. You can click on the DMV's office link right there at the bottom of any page of dealertraining.org, and you can click on your state, and you'll easily be able to contact your state's dealer license office with any questions regarding your dealer license application or any dealer license questions specific to the state. If you forget one required document in your application, they're normally not going to accept your application. But when you submit the correct application, you might get your dealer's license back in as little as a week. Sometimes it takes 4 weeks, and it can take 6 weeks or a little bit longer, depending on your state's dealer license regulations. Let's take a quick break from compliance for a moment, and I want to delve into some profit strategies that you can implement once you've received your dealer's license. So, let's talk about dealer aftermarket products, okay? First of all, normally the majority of your profits will come from the markup of your vehicles that you're selling. So let's say you're using your dealer's license to go into dealer auctions, and let's say you buy a car at the dealer auction for $2,000 and you sell it on the lot for $4,995. And this is a very realistic markup, by the way, so you just made a nearly $3,000 profit on your vehicle. But you can also sell several aftermarket products that can substantially increase your profits on the sale of every vehicle. There are many, many ways to supplement the income of your dealership, and you're going to be able to offer a large variety of dealer aftermarket products that will definitely benefit your customers and also increase your profits on every vehicle sale. After you come to an agreed selling price for the vehicle, your work has really just begun. You should try to increase your profit margin on each vehicle by offering your customers maybe dealer warranties, upholstery protection, vehicle delivery, and many other aftermarket products, many of which will add additional value to your customer's vehicle after the purchase and dramatically increase your profits as well. These products I'm getting ready to show you are for reference only, so you should definitely check with your state to see if these products are actually allowed in your state law. State laws, vary greatly from state to state when it comes to dealer aftermarket products. So you want to ensure that you're in compliance with whatever state that you're operating in your dealership in. And, we're going to have a lot of good contact information in that dealer training manual that you can download with your dealer training course. Dealer warranties. You can make great additional income on each vehicle you sell by offering your customers a dealer warranty. Dealer warranties also give your customers additional peace of mind knowing they won't face unexpected repair bills. Many companies can offer what's known as outside mechanical warranties on the vehicles you sell. If you sell an outside mechanical warranty, all warranty work will take place at a repair shop outside your dealership at another location. That's why they call them sometimes an outside mechanical warranty. You can also offer what's known as in-house warranties. If a customer buys an in-house warranty, the customer can bring the vehicle back to your dealership to have the repairs done at your repair shop at your dealership. You might think dealer warranties sound risky, but the warranties you offer can provide excellent profit margins while actually protecting your customer's investment in the vehicle they purchase from you. All large companies such as Best Buy, Target, Walmart, they all offer to sell warranties on basically everything. And they're doing this for a reason. Service warranties are very, very profitable, and while offering the customers protection after the purchase as well. You can charge that customer, say for example, on an in-house warranty, anywhere from like $1,500 to $3,500 or more, depending on the length of the dealer warranty and the mechanical failures that it covers. The chance of a major mechanical function for most newer vehicles can be quite rare. If the customer has no problems with the vehicle, then you may have just made an extra $2,000 or $3,000 or $4,000 profit on that vehicle. If the vehicle does have a problem, your customer will benefit from the warranted repair work and will normally face no out-of-pocket expenses. Dealer warranties can offer your dealership great profit potential in addition to your normal vehicle markup. Be sure your dealer warranty states clearly what type of mechanical issues are going to be covered. Most dealers only sell, warranties on vehicles that are less than 100,000 miles or maybe less than 5 years old. You can find a list of dealer warranties at any time. Just go to your favorite search engine. And in this course, we normally jump onto Google, but you can go to Yahoo or Bing or whatever. And in this scenario, like you see here on the screen, you just go to Google, type in dealer warranty providers, and there you see several companies. They are just waiting for you to get your dealer's license so they can allow you to sell third-party warranties. Or like I said, you can also sell the warranties, what are called in-house, but you want to definitely have an attorney draw you up that warranty document if you're not using a third-party warranty like the ones that you see here on the screen. Here are some other aftermarket products. Upholstery protection. You can make additional income by providing upholstery protection on your vehicles after the sale. After the sale, you can charge the customers from $200 to $500 for upholstery protection. Before the customer takes possession of the vehicle, just take it into your service garage. You can spray commercial upholstery protection chemical throughout the upholstery and let it dry. You may be able to purchase a large can of commercial upholstery protection for like $50. But this service you provide your customer protects your customer's interior. It adds value to the vehicle and has a great profit markup and can add large numbers to your bottom line. Rust protection. Rust protection, like upholstery protection, can be very profitable for your dealership. You can purchase a commercial rust protection chemical designed just for dealers that you can spray on the frame of the vehicle to prevent future rust. You can find commercial dealer rust protection in a container for about $70 to $80 in a large volume size. And you can charge your customer anywhere from $200 to $500 for this service. Many lending companies allow these aftermarket fees to be applied straight to the loan. So this could be very advantageous to your customer as well. Rust protection is a great selling tool for your customer since it will add to the vehicle's value if your customer ever decides to resell the vehicle. Make sure that you disclose all fees in writing to your customer before the sale to make sure they are aware of all aftermarket charges. You also want to make sure that your state's law regarding rust protection allows it, because there are some states now that prohibit the marketing of rust protection. So definitely check with your state dealer license agency before you ever charge for rust protection. Delivery charges. Don't rule out delivery of your vehicles to increase your profits. If you sell a car, maybe on Facebook Market or eBay or Craigslist or your own website, you can add several $100s to your profit by figuring out basically what it would cost in gas, and then add, $200 to $300 or $400 to the price. Maybe you're giving a local delivery charge of $100 to somebody that lives in your city. If your customer does not want to pay this, you can always negotiate it down to a lower price, or maybe even offer free delivery as an extra buying incentive. Later on in your course, I'm going to show you how to run an online dealership where you can market all your vehicles online legally, and you can certainly charge delivery fees on there when you are delivering every single one of the vehicles off your lot when you're running an internet dealership. So I'm going to talk about that extensively later on in your dealer training course as well. Vehicle preparation fees. Many dealers include dealer preparation fees on the invoice. You may be able to charge the customer for the basic cleaning and repairs that it cost you to prepare the vehicle for sale. If your customer does not want to pay these fees, you can just take them off the invoice. Like I said, be sure to disclose all charges thoroughly to your customer, and be sure to contact your state dealer license bureau to make sure that vehicle preparation fees are allowed in your state. Another profit potential is document preparation or document processing fees. Many dealers make extra profits by charging document preparation or document processing fees to every transaction. A document preparation fee is a fee charged to the customer for completing titles, title applications, loan applications, preparing documents, maybe filing mandatory sales reports. Documents that must be completed as per your state dealer license bureau requirements can be quite extensive and very time consuming. Document preparation fees can really add substantial amounts to your profits, And if you think about this, if you're selling 20 or 30 vehicles a month with like maybe $195 document fees, you can really see the profits adding up every single month. Dealers charge from maybe $50 all the way up to like $350 for document preparation fees. But you always want to shoot on the profit. I always recommend shooting for a $2,000 to $3,000 profit on the markup alone. Okay, but there are going to be some occasions where maybe you have to only net, $500 or $600 on a vehicle. I think that's going to be very rare, but you might have some vehicle sitting on your lot for 6 months that you haven't been able to sell. And if you can sell it for maybe a $500 profit, then you might have to do that. But on a profit this small, a $250 document preparation fee would definitely make a difference on your profit. So although document preparation fees can add handsomely to the bottom line of your dealership, these charges often lead to questions from the purchaser. And many purchasers will actually refuse to pay document fees. So just keep that in mind. And with that being said, some states do prohibit document fees, so you definitely want to check with your dealer license bureau agency. Many states that allow document fees have specific guidelines. So some states allow a maximum of $150, some allow $200. There are some states that prohibit them. So you definitely want to check your dealer license regulatory agency before you ever charge document fees. But if you can charge document fees, I would strongly encourage you to do that. And we have a whole section on document fees later on in your dealer training course as well. Some additional compliance that'll be very helpful for you. Loan points. Some banks or third-party lenders will actually allow you to add points on every vehicle loan that you originate. Each point equals 1% of the loan balance. So you add 4 points on a $10,000 loan, your profit could be an extra $400 on that vehicle. So you would definitely want to contact your bank or maybe your third-party lender to see if they do allow your dealership to add loan origination points. If they don't allow points, then banks or third-party lenders may pay a percentage of each vehicle loan that you originate. So you definitely want to call around as many banks as you can, or go online and search for as many third-party lenders as you can. And we will definitely talk about financing extensively later on. We're going to talk about buy here, pay here financing in your dealer training course. And I'm going to show you how to contact the many third-party lenders out there. They're just waiting for you to get your dealer's license so they can give loans to all your customers regardless of their credit. Thank you very much for watching this dealer training video. If you decide to invest in the rest of your dealer training course, just click on the blue download training button that is located on every page of the dealertraining.org website. And your investment will include extensive training that covers more sales and profit strategies. I'm going to show you how to make $319,000 a year with a dealer's license, proven negotiation techniques, how to obtain a floor plan, buying vehicles with lost titles, buy here, pay here financing. We're going to cover third-party dealer financing. We're going to have an extensive dealer auction training section. We're going to cover federal laws. I'm going to show you how to get the cheapest dealer bonds, the cheapest dealer insurance. I'll show you how to apply for a free employment identification number. I'm also going to show you how to run an online web-based dealership. So your training will include an entire section on how to run a dealership completely online, legally, and never face interaction with customers again ever, and much, much, much more. Your training also includes your 135-page Automobile Dealer Training Association Dealer Training Manual with all the course content in a downloadable book that includes a list of every dealer auction in the country. Please read our reviews to find out what other persons are saying about the dealer training course. What are you waiting for? When you are ready to change your life and enter the world's greatest business, just click the blue download training button on dealertraining.org. Now go for it.